let's try this again. But there's treasonous people in every government, Gons.
I see what you're doing now.
Fight for Ukraine. New world order.
This is coming from Politico.com. Interesting connection here. Ukraine's Zelensky fires top spy chief and prosecutor general. President Volodymyr Zelensky announced a major shakeup on Sunday, firing the chief of Ukraine's domestic intelligence and security agency and its prosecutor general. Zelensky said in a video address published on Telegram that he had dismissed the security chief, Ivan Bakanov, a childhood friend who led his presidential campaign, and Prosecutor General Irina Venediktova, a close ally who was his foreign affairs advisor during his presidential run, after losing faith in their ability to run their offices. He said hundreds of cases had been opened into officials from both offices who are accused of high treason for aiding Russia in its invasion of Ukraine. More than 60 employees of both offices currently work with Russia-imposed authorities in occupied territories, quote, against our state, he added. The shakeup came 3 weeks after Politico first reported that Zelensky had tired of his longtime friend Bakanov and was looking to replace him with someone more suitable to serve as a wartime chief of security service of Ukraine, or SBU. According to 4 officials close to the president and a Western diplomat who has advised Kiev on reforms needed to revamp the SBU. After Zelensky won a landslide presidential vote in 2019, he set out to clean up the SBU and tapped Bakanov to lead the charge in an attempt to showcase the newly elected leader's determination to prove to the West that Kyiv was serious about reforms. But Bakanov's appointment was criticized by opposition parties who said someone with his background was unfit to lead the top intelligence gathering agency. He had been at Zelensky's side since the latter rose from a scrawny comedian in the industrial south central city of Kryvyi Rih to a muscular, war-hardened leader, famous well beyond Ukraine's borders.
Oh my gosh, do you know what this sounds like?
Tell me.
Nimrod, who became the mighty man.
Oh, that is not what I thought you were going to say, but yeah, I hear you.
Or Hulk.
What an interesting thing to focus on, though.
Yeah,
I think somebody over at Politico is crushing on Zelensky a little bit. You know, we're talking about, I mean, think of they're talking about the Ukrainian government, aspects of the Ukrainian government committing high treason under the watch of Zelensky's childhood friend that he sort of nepotistically put in charge of the SBU. It's like the CIA of Ukraine.
Made in Hollywood. Wow, what a gut-wrenching.
In true Hollywood fashion.
Just amazing.
You got to comment on how Zelensky was so scrawny. He was a scrawny comedian, but now he's muscular and war-hardened and tan and so good looking. Just a weird thing to add in an article about high treason.
In Politico.
Quote, we are highly unsatisfied. Well, I thought it was weird for Politico. I mean, if this was like
that's what I'm saying.
CNN,
for Politico, it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, Politico is supposed to have their act together. Whoa! Defense dog, attack. Quote, we are highly unsatisfied with his job and are working to get rid of him, a top Ukrainian official close to Zelensky told Politico in June on the condition of anonymity to talk about sensitive personnel issues. Quote, we are not satisfied with his managerial, skills, because now you need anti-crisis management skills like we don't think he has. The official and the Western diplomat all said at the time that the concern was greater than just Bakanov. It's also about the decision of several senior agency personnel in the first hours and days of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine that may have cost the country precious territory, including strategic city of Kherson. So they're literally talking about 5 dozen to be exact, dozens of Ukrainian security and intelligence officials who actively committed high treason to help Russia take over Ukraine. And those people worked for Zelensky's best friend. It's almost like
they set him up.
It's almost like it was part of the plan the whole time for Russia to invade, to
infiltrate,
start off the new global, world order, and self-destruct the economy of the entire world, and sanctions and it's just very suspicious, man, especially with the connection to, the World Economic Forum. You've got Putin, a young global leader. You've got Zelensky, the golden child of the World Economic Forum. And you've got Zelensky's childhood friend, the boss of 5 dozen traitors that helped Russia take over the country, or attempt to. It's just very suspicious, man.
Hey,
No matter where you're at, there's insurrectionists around every corner.
Backing off. Had to back on off.
Yeah.
Zelensky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to put a bow on this section here.
660.
Oh, I see. Yes.
There's a report. Number of Ukrainian children injured due to Russian aggression rises to 666.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I saw the headline and I was like, I have the screenshot here, but I'm like, I need to find an actual article. So I found a Yahoo News mirroring Ukrainska Pravda. And it's 4 children. The headline is 4 children have been injured as a result of Russian shelling over the past 24 hours. Office of the Prosecutors General. And in there, right there, it says the number of injured children has therefore increased to 666 as a result of Russian aggression.
Oh, geez, Louise.
So there you go.
I thought you were going to mention that I'm being told that we have just hit 666 followers on DLive.
Oh, no. Somebody go follow us on
Somebody
DLive.
follow us on DLive.
We need 111 followers.
Here is some interesting details. Oh my gosh. The Ukrainian officials said Russian troops were able to take Kherson so easily because of the failure on the part of SBU officials there to blow up the Antonovsky Bridge spanning the Dnipro River, allowing Russian troops to cruise into the city. Known by its Ukrainian acronym, the SBU is the successor agency of the Soviet-era KGB.
Mm-hmm.
With more, did you know this already?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
it's more recent.
Ukrainians.
Just for you, Basil, there's a Lex Friedman podcast from a recent episode where he interviews a KGB, like a former KGB guy. Yeah. And he talks about all this stuff. It's good. You should listen to it.
So the Ukrainian CIA is basically just the KGB with a new name. Mm-hmm. With more than 30,000 employees, the SBU is more than 7 times the size of Britain's MI5 and nearly the size of the FBI, which employs 35,000 people, despite Ukraine being 16 times smaller than the US. So they have the intelligence agency, the size of the FBI. Nation. Yeah, which is, the US's the US world police, like empire extraordinaire, master of the universe country, America, and Ukraine has an intelligence service like basically the same size.
Why?
It's crazy.
Why, if it's not for domination?
Yeah, I mean, Putin had the goods on basically, it's like the Illuminati, they were hiding amongst the Freemasons,
right,
or whatever. you've got the KGB hiding amongst the SBU in Ukraine. While it is tasked with traditional domestic intelligence and counterintelligence gathering, the SBU's activities also go beyond the scope of similar agencies in Western nations. Among its duties is combating economic crimes and corruption. Interesting. Weird way to end. Kind of a lackluster way to end the article, but there you go. So yeah, I think this is an interesting. You think about the broader narrative going on around the world. I mean, you could even connect it with Great Reset because, like Klaus talking about how we have penetrated the old cabinets of countries around the world. Yeah. He's basically has Great Reset insurrectionists in places of power. And even Zelensky is not immune from having to watch his back wherever he goes because he's got all these KGB agents. AOC doesn't feel safe in the halls of power. It's a whole thing.
It's a big problem. We'll see how it all plays out.
Here's the real question, Gons.
What?
Who here is the insurrect? Who's trying to take down Canary Cry from the inside? It's either you or me. Actually, it's probably Cody. Cody seems to be the KGB operative.